Well, we're already started. I clicked over. Hey, everyone.
Oh.
No countdown.
No countdown today?
Surprise! Whatever. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. I didn't sleep good. It is crazy windy. The weather's changed, and I've got a headache. But it's 2 p.m. on Sunday, so AmyR here. Welcome to my face, my card making space. We're live, unscripted, unfiltered, and welcome to the chaos.
Maybe a partial filter. Just a tiny one. Tiny filter.
Well, the tiniest of. I was like thinking when you said partial filter, I was like, I don't filter my face.
No.
Yeah.
Filtered language.
Yeah, filtered language. Yeah, I don't swear during my lives, or I try not to. Sometimes one slips. Anyway, yeah, hello. I clicked the wrong button and just completely kiboshed the countdown. Like it really matters. It always weirds me out anyway. Everyone's staring at my face for a solid minute where I'm just like, chaos. Chaos. Anyway, I have been posting like a crazy person the past week. I posted I don't even know how many, 6 videos. I think I did 6 videos and a bonus live stream yesterday.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's all there. So, yeah, everything is good. Hello to everybody. And yeah, I've been super busy trying to get caught up after a very chaotic, rotten month of May. So it's June. Happy June. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Is it June already, Sai? I've already been doing rainbow cards. I do them all year round. That is, I was just saying that to Chris. It annoys me, because especially it's become so corporate takeover when it comes to Pride, and it should be all year round. And if I don't make it super obvious between having it permanently etched on my body and all the rainbow stuff behind me, yeah, we are allies and everyone is welcome here, and I do not put up with any negativity in terms of just basic human rights. This is a card making channel, yes, but basic human rights take precedence. So, happy Pride. Anyway, I'm not doing a Pride themed card day. I thought about it, but I already had everything planned, and since like I said, a headache and I'm tired and I'm barely functioning, we're gonna stick with the plan. But yeah, been loving all the butterfly cards. If I can find the one stamp set.
It flew away.
I did fly away. I had promised that. Yeah, last week's live, I'd said, because we did a butterfly card last week, and then I posted a couple more butterfly cards, and I have another one literally planned out start to finish. I cannot find the stamp set to save my life. I'm really annoyed, and I can't even substitute. It's just the idea I have is specific, and I'm annoyed. I'm so annoyed. It'll pop up at the most ridiculous time, so we shall just see. I got a really rude comment on my rainbow splatter mug. 18 craft interior, so I blocked them. Oh yeah, if people want to be completely hateful and ridiculous, no tolerate. We do not tolerate. Don't tolerate my live chat. Don't tolerate it in the comments. I block those ones. I don't even engage. It's not even worth it. If you want to be that miserable over Pride and rainbow and again human rights, we wore you out yesterday. No, yesterday's live went good. Other than it's funny. The Sunday lives, I'm fine. I think just we've done it for so long, the schedule, everything. It's just I do my thing, other than I mess it up and hit the wrong buttons, whatever. But yeah, yesterday, when I do bonus ones, I don't know why my anxiety just goes to 15 out of 10, and my brain starts working. Literally, I was shaking.
Yeah.
Were you watching? He was stalking me when I was doing it.
Stalking.
Yeah, well, in the beginning, I literally was like this. And I don't know why. I've been doing lives for years. I don't care. I didn't even do my hair today. I threw it in a ponytail. I don't care. Don't care. Anyway, it's been just chaotic. How's the wildfire where you are? I was asked that yesterday too. They are very far north of here. We are, is it 500 kilometers? Is that, oh
maybe
yeah.
200 to 500 depending on what wildfire you're.
Yeah, the wildfires are bad. They're very far from here. Saskatchewan, for those that aren't aware, Saskatchewan land size is about the size of Texas. And most of us live in the bottom half of the province.
Mm-hmm.
The upper half is very sparsely populated. They've had to evacuate thousands of people, though. And that one fire is the
third largest fire that has ever existed.
The one currently going is the third largest wildfire in existence. That's terrifying. Like, it's bad because most of Saskatchewan, like half of us, is prairie, like down here. So like I'm not concerned about like it spreading to here. It's literally not like there's no trees, there's nothing, it's just fields. However, up north it is densely forested and it's bad. So yeah, they are evacuating and fighting, and like places people are flying in, firefighters, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like entire communities have been like burned down. It's not good. It's not good. So yeah, we're in for a crazy cold front. That's why my head hurts. The wind is shifted. I don't think it's coming from the north though, because it's not. It's definitely not, because it's not smoky here. It was smoky here the other day. It was crazy.
It was really bad.
But now it's getting chilly and we're in for like 3 solid days of wind.
Yep.
And maybe next week we'll see rain. We'll see. Oh, that's why I pulled my phone out. Gotta put it on Do Not Disturb, because nobody ever contacts me, but they do during a live. Okay. Anyway, so put that on Do Not Disturb. I'll just stick that. I don't know where to put anything. I need a bigger boat. Okay. There we go. Wow, you two, are you twins? Well, it would be very inappropriate if we were, but we're also not like procreating or having children. But yeah, brain-wise, yeah, the two of us, it's twisted. We're a couple of twisted weirdos.
We are. We have very similar senses.
We do. We both have very dark, twisted senses of humor, and we finish each other's sandwiches. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just scrolling back through the comments. Okay, so yeah, hello to everybody. Hello to, like I said, the chaos. Welcome to the chaos. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, watercolor. That's what we're gonna do today. I need to, before I even do anything, I want to cut a piece of cardstock in half, and then we'll get into the actual like stuff. The stuff. Okay. I think I'm prepared within reason. As always, links to everything that I plan on using in the doobly-doo below the video. That applies to all my videos, whether we're live, whether it's pre-scripted, edited, all the things, And always, disclaimer, my product links are affiliate links. All that means is when you click on whatever, I got stamp pad listed and you click on it, there's a little tracking cookie. And if you end up completing an order, it doesn't matter if you ordered that specific product, but it's like, oh, you hop on over there and it's like, oh, I want this, this, and this. And you place an order. Technically, I get credit for that order and I get a little kickback for that. That is how affiliate links work. So anyway, thank you, Zon, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. There was another. Oh, have you used the Simon Hurley Solar Spray? No, I don't have them, so I cannot comment on how those are different. I have so many sprays, like that whole row behind me. It's all blurry, but that's all the distressed mica stain sprays, and then I have all the distressed spray stains and oxides. But yeah, I don't have those solar sprays. Okay. Let's see if I can click the right button and not like, okay, we're good. We're good. Everything is good. I didn't break anything yet. So, I have watercolor paper. This time I'm using my Canson XL, just because. And this, yet again, because I've already used this in I think at least a couple videos, and just be prepared to see it fairly regularly because it's the Swiss dots set with the perfect little Swiss dots background stamp. My brain stopped. Poo. And yeah, you can't go wrong with Swiss dots. They're perfect for everything. So should I bother? You know what? I will, just because it's habit. I can't not. It's like I can't heat emboss without using my anti-static powder, even though I don't really need to for this, because this background is going to be messy on purpose. I don't want to stamp it perfectly, intentionally. So we got face up on my desk because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I wanted it stamped perfectly, I'd use it in my stamp positioner, my Misty, whatever. But I'm just going to ink this up kind of haphazardly because, again, I'm not concerned with it being perfect. Just kind of doodly doop. Clear embossing ink. And then we'll press the watercolor paper into the background, just like so. And same thing, I'm not pressing evenly all over because I don't care, because I just want some dots. And then, doodly doo. Yeah, you can't go. Swiss dots are just between like a Swiss dot background and like a Swiss dot embossing folder. They're kind of just staples. Like they just work with everything because they're dots. You know, can't go wrong. So gold embossing powder, and see, it's gonna be messy. And that's what I want. Things don't need to be perfect. Perfection is overrated. Oh, I like how that actually turned out. Who'da thunk? Who'da thunk? Good enough. Good enough. So yeah, gold embossing powder. There we go. Put the lid on. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to plug in my heat tool. Hopefully this doesn't mess up my live stream. Oh, there we go. The tech gremlins have been, knock on wood, they've been quiet for too long. It's only a matter of time.
Into their sleep cycle, they're hibernating.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Okay, we're gonna melt this. I don't think it'll really show on camera because they're just so small, like just dots. But melting gold embossing powder, it's the best. Though I wonder if I can show it. Oh, I can show this. So this is what I talk about when I say in videos, until it's smooth and melted and you want to avoid the dull grain areas. Smooth and melted is all that reflective area. But then when I go like this, see, all that isn't reflecting because it's not melted. It's just embossing powder. So if I wasn't to melt that, it would just like go everywhere, you know? So that's what we're aiming for. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay. I don't need this for now. I'll have to come back to it. And then I need my hardboard. And I have a second piece. This is going to be for some die cutting and some low tack tape. Any low tack tape is going to work. Painter's tape works great. Frog tape works great. This stuff is Altenew satin tape, I think they call it. Any low tack tape will work because it will Just hold the watercolor paper in place because when you're adding a bunch of water to it, it naturally wants to curl up and then everything's just going to run off the sides. And that's no fun. We don't want that. We don't want that. So we tape our panels down. Yeah, don't say that too loud. They might hear you. I know. The tech gremlins. Like, really? Like, for the most part, they've left us alone during the lives, surprisingly, after so many issues I've had. Which we never did fully figure out the reason why, because I changed too many parameters to get things to work, and we're not exactly sure what I did, but now things work. Whatever.
So we don't touch.
Yeah, we just don't. Nobody touches. No touchy the cords, no touchy nothing. Just shh. But that said, I've had a few other little tech issues here and there that just stressful. Like, I make cards on the internet for a living, but the crap I have to deal with, like technology and algorithm wise, the worst. The worst. Okay, so, well, that one's long enough. There we go. Okay. Okay, there. So, got my pieces stuck in place. Then I have things once I get stuff out of the way. Flour sackcloth. This is just going to kind of protect because I plan on getting a little mucky with all of this. So let's just do that. And then I'm going to use reinkers for the watercoloring. I've showed this in a few no, Allison, they were asking about Picket Fence Studios in yesterday's live. But that's cool too. Oh, that's probably what you're talking about. You just put pink brush, but it was Picket Fence. Anyway, the purple tape's from Altenew. It's their satin tape. It's good stuff. And yeah, I've done several videos using reinkers. I've also done it with the actual ink pads. The only difference when using reinkers, you just get a little bit more concentrated color. The thing to remember, like I've said, and I will show this, when you want to watercolor specifically with reinkers, like water reactive reinkers. So Simon Says Stamps, Positively Saturated work great. Distress ink reinkers, obviously. Distress oxide reinkers, awesome. Altenew fresh dye ink reinkers will work. Concord 9th ink reinkers will work. There's probably many other brands out there that will also work. I am only listing the ones that I know and own specifically because I don't have all the inks. I don't have a big enough budget. So I'm going to use reinkers today because, like I said, concentrated color, and you don't need very much. But the thing you need to remember is water. You need water. If you want to paint directly with just a reinker, like put a couple drops and paint directly to get the most intense color, in a lot of cases it won't dry because reinkers are not watercolor, technically. They've got additives in them for the ink pads so they don't dry out like glycerin and whatnot. So if you want things to dry quickly, you want intense color, go to specifically with liquid watercolors. I thought about doing that today, but I had certain colors in mind and I grabbed reinkers. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to use Aspen for this part of the background. So I've got like, and you don't need much. Probably, we'll start with just a couple drops. So I've got Aspen. I have Melon. Couple drops of that. And I have butter. Ooh. I don't care if the melon and butter touch each other. It's fine. I got my jar of watercolor water, the forbidden water that the unpaid intern's not allowed to touch. Yeah, he's in the corner. I didn't even mention that. That's usually part of the intro spiel. You know, you guys already knew he was here, but officially, he's here. He's sitting in the corner. Yeah, totally minding his business. Sometimes minding his business so much he's not paying attention and posting links like he's supposed to.
I even answered that satin tape question.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And then just big ol' fat watercolor brush. This is one of the, you get a pack of like, I think it's like 5. I have them linked. It's the Altenew watercolor brushes. Um, I bought these, I forget when, a year and a half ago, a couple years ago, whenever it was. It was a while ago. I really like them. I've been using them for a long time. And for something like this, any brushes, you don't need fancy, you don't need like any cheapo brush will work because we are literally just going to slap color on. That. Oh, and I also might want some of that. What else was my plan? I'm trying to remind myself. What did I plan? What was my plan?
To take over the world.
Yeah, I was going to take over the world, but that might take a little longer than a live stream. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. Huh? We can get so yeah, no. Do you ever do this technique and use reinkers from other brands in the same project? Like as in mixing reinkers? No. I generally stick to just, you can totally do that if you want. I just, to keep things easy or a little more understandable, I just will stick with like one brand in a video within reason. Um, could I do this and some Distress ink reinker and the other ones I mentioned? Oh, totally. It would be fine. So if you have like specific colors, the only reason I don't do it is just it would get more confusing explaining that to people. Like this is from this brand, this is this, you know. But if that's what you've got, do it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. That's also like as a maker, as a person who does this as a job. That's why a lot of times I'll stick with like the same brand within reason. You know, there's always a few caveats when I'm making a video. Just keep things a little more condensed, a little bit easier. But as a regular maker, mix and match. Do what works for you. Like have fun with it. So I'm gonna add water. Literally just slap it on. Adding water to the watercolor paper just enables everything to move more. And then we're literally just going to add water and go like that. Nothing crazy. So that was the melon. We'll add some butter. And I wanted this to be light because it's the background. So we'll add a bit of that. And then I'll also add in some of this. And this I'm going to water down more because, again, we're dealing with reinkers and it's like intense color because this is the aspen color. And I just want a bit. Just a bit of it here and there. And then I showed this in a recent video. When the background is, I'm just like, brain. When the background is still wet, and actually I want to cover this side of it because I don't want to get it all over here. When it's still wet, if I add splatter, it's immediately going to move. So this is what I talk about when I say like, dry everything first. And then if you want your splatter to be defined, like splotchy, splatter intentional, dry it first. But I don't want it to be defined on this. So I'm just going to take some of this and just splatter it. And it just immediately goes, and that's what I want. That's what I want. So it just adds more color and does its thing. I'll do the same thing with the melon color. Kind of splatter that on. And I'll do it with the butter too, since I have some sitting on here, because who cares? And then, just because I can, I'm also going to add some white gouache while this is wet. Because again, I don't want this to be defined. I want this to just have its own personality. So for this, I'm going to use my fan brush, just because I don't want to get a bunch of gouache in my paintbrush. So I'll just use my fan brush. Add pretty hefty amount of water to this. So it's thing, because again, I don't want like defined white splatter. Not for now anyway. I might add splatter again later. We'll see. But again, while this is wet, it's going to just move. And there's our background. That's it. Simple. Simple. So that's what we have. Just a soft background. And then I need to wipe off this palette. Maybe minus the, I'll keep the white because I will use that on the rest of this. But then for this background, it's not going to be a background. We're going to die cut from it. So for this one, we're going to use, where are my colors? I have Sprout, Perfection, Pine, and Bubblegum. I know, kind of random. We'll just see. So, same thing. We only need like a couple drops. You don't need much. So that was that one. We'll add some Perfection. And then the Pine, which is a very intense color. And then a bit of Bubblegum. Okay. So, same thing on this background. We're just gonna get it wet first. Slap on the water. Just like so. And then drop in color. So we did that one. And that. Oh yeah. And I'm not worried like this, but like I said, we're die cutting from this, so I don't care how this looks. Like this one can be just full on super messy. In fact, I'm going to very carefully, because this is still wet. I should have done these on separate hardboards is what I should have done. Because normally I say like, do not remove the tape. When this is wet, you can rip the background. This tape is low tack enough that I'm not concerned. So I'm just going to take it carefully. Because I'll just let it continue to air dry. It might curl a bit, but we're going to die cut this like with a rectangle wafer die. So I'm just going to move him somewhere. Where am I going to put him? Over there. There we go. Got him out of the way. So I don't have to worry about him getting messy. So now we can add some splattery bits. So I'm going to add some of this pink, which pink and green technically will make mud when you mix pink and green together. However, with these reinkers, just the way they naturally like push color away, the pink still shows up. So I thought that would just be kind of a fun extra. There we go. Hello to everybody tuning in. And then we'll splatter on some of this pine color. This background, this is all going to look like really crazy until I die cut it. So we've done that. Let's add a bit more of the pink just because I have it. And then I'll also add some of that white. So take that from what was left on this palette here. Yep. So yeah, this hot mess, just hot mess. Just a hot mess. But once we die cut it, it'll be good. So I'm just going to use my heat tool to speed this up because, you know, we're live. We don't have time to sit here all day and watch paint dry. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? I'll also take a tissue, absorb up some of the excess. So this just dries a little bit faster. Okay. You can see all the dark green like splotches. That is exactly what I talk about with how splatter can like not be defined, you know? So if you want it to be circular, you know, actual splatter, you just let your background dry first, then add the splatter. Speaking of which, I was going to add gold to this. That's what I was going to do. I knew there was something I was forgetting. I can still do that though. We can still add a bit of gold to this. Why not? Why not? Gansai Tambi Starry colors. Where's my water? It's around here somewhere. We'll add a little bit of gold to this because we can. Stick a bit of water in there. Derp. And then work it out really good. I need to get another one of these palettes. I've been using this one for years, and this gold one especially. I am very much at the bottom of it and need to get more. Let's just work it up real good, like that. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's good. And then we'll add just gold to it. Why not? Yep. I wonder how oxide rankers would work with this technique. They would work great. It would just depend on how much you add and the colors you're using, and yeah. With oxides, you just have to be a little careful because if you go in too heavy-handed with them, they can start to look really, really chalky. But usually, using the rankers with water, new background, they'll be fine. Okay, now we're gonna dry this fully. Mm-hmm. Okay. It is mostly dry, or at least dry enough for me to get it off the hardboard. Me. Get this off the hardboard. And there's our like mucky, messy background. Gonna again wipe this up so I don't get my elbow in it, because otherwise that won't be cool. Okay. Good enough. Okay. So we've got that background. We have this one, which is still wet. So this one I'm also going to speed up the drawing because you do not want to die cut things like watercolor paper when it's still wet, that's when you can tear your cardstock. So make sure things are dry before you die cut them. I'm not using any mica. And if you're using just mica with watercolor, it will not stick. It needs a binder to hold it in place. So something like Perfect Pearl powder, I used that in yesterday's bonus live. Perfect Pearl powder from Ranger has a binder in the powder that is activated with water. So that will work. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. It all should. It should. Hopefully. Hopefully. Okay. Let me get some of the stuff out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So we got two backgrounds. This one I'm just gonna die cut with. How small do I want to go with this? This is the more A2 rectangles, like just rectangle, A2 size rectangle wafer dies. Yeah, that's the one I want to use. So, this was also why I was not concerned about the, like when I was removing the tape, because if it did tear, because I was gonna cut this panel down regardless. Let's do that. So we're gonna die cut these. So this one with the rectangle, because this is gonna make the background for our card front. Boop. There we go. There we go. So there's our background. And it's got gold. Hence the gold splatter. Gold and gold. I like gold. That's what we need to do is watch Austin Powers again.
I know.
I love Austin Powers. They're so dumb. Such stupid movies. They're the best. They're the best. Okay. And then this one, we're going to die cut with, where did I put it? It's around here somewhere. This one. The curled fern frond. Curled fern frond. Wafer die. Can the binder in Ranger alcohol ink work with mica? Maybe. I'm not the person to ask that. It's not really a binder in alcohol inks, it's resin. Technically, it possibly could, but I can't say for certain. I don't work with alcohol inks very often. I have them all. I don't use them very often. Yeah, it gets a little finicky. So, we are going to die cut this. Kind of really want this darker shade actually. This background with these fern fronds. And I'm probably going to obviously be able to get more than one set out of here, which is good because I can probably put one on the inside of the cards. Yeah. So let's just die cut this and see what we get. Actually, I want to go this way. Method to the madness. Stick that there. Let's put that one like... Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So we're going to die cut this with our fern fronds. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's fun. That's fun. And then this one as well. Look at that. You can see the gold. There's the bit of pink here and there. Heck yeah. Yes. Okay. How many more die cuts can I get out of this background? I could potentially... Do not know if I can get 2 more. Maybe if I place them very carefully. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's die cut it again. No, Marilyn, resin's in the alcohol inks. I'm not saying anything about using resin. If you've never used resin before, do a ton of research. When resins can be very volatile, breathing issues, because a lot of the off-gassing with resins, like that is something I do not work with at all, is resin. Alcohol inks do have some resin in them. But same thing. There's a lot of safes. That's the main reason I just don't show them very often on my channel, because it's just they're very flammable, and me, being willy-nilly and throwing things and splatter and da-da-da-da, there's a lot of things you cannot do with alcohol ink, or it's just I wouldn't recommend. But do some hefty research on that sort of stuff. I love ferns. I need to plant some ferns. My neighbor has a bunch, and they've been growing for years, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Okay, so I was able to get 4 die cuts out of that background, which is pretty fabulous. And each one is different. I'm going to zoom in. I'll zoom in so you guys can see them. Isn't that fun? So yeah, more often than not, I like to die cut first and then watercolor. I've shown that in a ton of videos, and I've said that. Because I like to see where the color's going. But there's something to be said about doing a messy background, or just a background. Or if you did a background and you don't like it, it's like, oh, I don't like how it looks or whatever. Die cut it. See what happens. Grab some greenery or florals or whatever, die cut from it, and see how the pieces turn out. Because these turned out fun. I like it. Maybe that one I'll save for the inside, I'm thinking, because I can probably, we could do something on this. How am I going to want to arrange these guys? We did that. Do that. Twine. And I want to have a sentiment. Yes. Yes. Okay. We need a sentiment. Let's set that over there. Let's wide. Okay. So for my sentiment, I'm just going to use the sentiments from the Swiss Dots pack, because hello. I think this time we can use, do I want to do the Hello Friend one again? I used that the other day. Let's use the thank you sentiment. So we're gonna heat emboss this. I need I'm gonna use black cardstock because I think the black will just pop on this background. So let me get don't ferns attract snakes? Snakes don't worry me. Up here, the only snakes we see are garter snakes, and it's rare.
Pretty rare.
We've seen one, maybe two, in the last 8 years. So yeah, rattlesnakes are in Saskatchewan, but they're further south, usually in the more slightly arid areas. Like, snakes don't faze me at all. Spiders, not so much. That's a whole other thing. But okay, black cardstock and grip mat where he doesn't belong. Stick you back there. Okay, we're gonna use just this little scrap of black cardstock. Do the same old doobly doo. This time we need the anti-static powder tool to keep the embossing powder from clinging to where it don't belong. And then clear embossing ink again. Gold embossing powder. We'll just do and get things out of the way so you can actually stamp. There we go. There we go. So got that stamped, and then we'll cover that with the gold embossing powder. I finally bought myself the glass mat. You always use it. It is nice. This Glassboard Studio mat. It's very nice. I do really like it. Okay. Gold embossing powder, tapped off the excess, and then this we're going to melt with the heat tool. This will show up a little bit better than the dots when I'm melting it. Love it. Okay, just got that. And then we need, take the stamp. Actually, while I have this out, let's take the stamp out of there. Stick it in the packaging so I don't lose it, because that's been known to happen. Let's take this guy over here. My card base is going to be Nina Desert Storm cardstock because I like me some craft cardstock. I line that up. Yes. Okay. That'll work. So then for that I need, where did I put it? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Black ink. Just ink that up with the black ink. Stamp that. Love it. Okay. And then wipe that down. Again, remove stamp so I do not lose it. Got me hooked on craft cardstock. I love craft cardstock. It's the perfect neutral. So I am going to adhere this guy to the inside of the card. Just like so. So run a little bit of adhesive. Yeah, I like that. So we got that. And then for the card front, I am just going to adhere these, just run a line of adhesive kind of down the center here, or the spine of it. And then I'm going to just press that down. And since this is so much smaller than the card base, I can have these pieces sort of hanging off the edge, you know, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Where are those Simon Says mushrooms at that firm? They would work great. Those mushrooms are completely out of stock. I am waiting, not so patiently. I have a feeling those, because Simon has to redo a lot of their files and things because they had to switch manufacturers for their wafer dies. And some stuff they're just outright discontinuing. But those mushrooms, I assume they're gonna like restock them. So I'm assuming they're redoing the files for it. But trust me, those mushrooms would look great with this. I'm just waiting for them to come back in stock. So got those adhered. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna adhere it like that so you can actually see it so it's not lost, because these are kind of busy with the background I got going on and all of the things. There we go. Ooh, there we go. So we're just gonna stick him like that. Why not? That works. And then back to my sentiment, because I want to add maybe some cord or something, but I need to deal with this. So, anti-static powder, not pretty. Microfiber cloth for the win. And you just buff it away. Like that. Quick and simple. So I buffed it away, and then I'm going to put that stamp properly in the package. There we go. And then we're going to use the coordinating wafer die to die cut this. Yeah, there will be more mushroom card videos, guaranteed. Just, they need to just restock it, because, yeah. Again, as someone who does this as a job, I can't... Obviously, I'm not in control. It's a good thing I'm not, you know? You guys don't want me in power. But I can't control, like, the stock or anything like that. But, so, like, if something's sold out by the time I do a video or it gets posted, what can you do? However, when it's, like, the main focus, you know, I try not to post the videos until, like, at least it's in stock, just to prevent the complaints. Because trust me, over the years, so many outright emails and campaigns. So fun times. Okay, coordinate wafer die, and then have you seen the Poppy Stamps Nordic mushroom dies? Yes. Poppy Stamps is the same manufacturer and designer as Memory Box. Memory Box owns Poppy Stamps, and there's one, Birch Press. Those three are the same people. Dave, that owns Memory Box, does that. And Dave at Memory Box, they design a lot of the wafer dies for Simon Says Stamp. Like, a lot of my favorite wafer dies, like this one, I would probably say this was probably designed by Memory Box. They're very close friends with the owner at Simon Says Stamp, and they do a lot of their wafer dies. And say that mushroom die set that I love so much, pretty sure it was designed by them as well. So yeah, no, I saw that. I had it in my cart, and then I was like, you know, I still might order it because it's really cute. It's really cute. So, I love how that die cuts. Just, mwah. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then, okay, so I've got my sentiment, And then I want to add, where did I put it? I pulled out, this is this is the size of the roll. The Mayart's twine, whatever it's called, natural twine, something like that. This roll is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like 40, or is it 400 yards? I think it's a 400 yard. Yeah, 400 yard roll. Like multiple lifetime supply of this stuff. Multiple lifetimes. So, I just want to, do I want to tie it in a bow? I don't even think I do. I think I just want to wrap it around a couple times, just to give it a little extra something. So if we just kind of do that, there we go. So if we wrap it around, and then I can just tape this once I grab some scissors. And just some washi tape will work. Can't believe folks will lose their mind over a craft item. Oh yeah, over the years, sometimes things have been pretty insane. People have lost their minds over splatter and the definition of it. People have lost their minds over me expressing my opinions. People have lost their minds over products being sold out that I have no control over. People have lost their minds over completely unrelated stuff and try to blame me for it. You know, the downfall of man. I'm sure I've received a comment about that.
I'm commenting about it right now.
Oh, Chris is, yeah, good. Chris is going to go troll me and leave a bunch of hate comments. Do it. I dare you. See how that works for you. We don't have a doghouse, but you could sleep in the shed.
That'd be an awful place to sleep.
It would be. It'd be gross. It's full of spiders, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, just tape that. So I just add the little extra texture. Just a little something, something. Okay. Do. And then to adhere the sentiment, can you go deal with the little nightmares that I can hear being nightmares? I'll have to trim these down, won't I? I think this is will it fit? Oh, it fits. It fits. Who'd have thunk? Okay, I'll just put some thin little foam squares on the back of this. There we go. There we go. Okay, so. Truth, Robbie. It's all my fault. Totally. Nope. Careful. Okay. Oh, and I don't want to lose that dot either. That would not be cool, man. That would not be cool. Oh, so. Okay, line that up. And then we'll just pop him into place. Like that. And then, of course, we're going to add some Big Mama foam tape, which I left over here. Okay, let's put a little bit of Big Mama foam tape on the back of this to add a little bit of dimension. People can be so wild. It's crafty art stuff. True. The thing that I like to remind people of is, first off, yeah, I make cards on the internet, man. Like, none of this is that deep. It's paper. It's paper. Seriously. And that aside, personalities, not for everyone. You know, my personality, it's not for everyone. There's a lot of people that just, the sound of my voice is grating. Okay, that's fine. The beauty of all of this is you don't have to watch. Like some of the most ridiculous comments I've had over the years, it's things specific, related to things that I cannot change, like the sound of my voice. I mean, I can change it a bit, like, "Oh my god, look at this card I'm making. We could talk like this the entire time. It's so fetch. So fetch." You know? Like, I can go full Gretchen. It is what it is. But you're not being forced to watch, you know? So for those that don't like it, click away. Go find other makers that speak to you, that you appreciate, because why would you make yourself miserable, hate watching content, you know? And then the reason I say all this is there's a lot of makers out there who want to do videos, who want to share what they do online. You know, they wanna film and become content creators. And one, I say there's room for everyone. Totally. Do it. And it's free. A YouTube channel is free. Nowadays you can film with your smartphone. You do not need the ridiculous equipment setup like that someone like I have. Good lord. You don't need that, especially when you're starting out. Film with your phone. You know, go from there. But I say these things to remind people, it's like the people that are leaving the really rank, outright ridiculous comments, that says more about them than it does about me. It doesn't get to me. It really doesn't. Like, I have heard the most insane, unhinged things. I have received full-on threats, all of it. Been there, done that. None of it gets under my skin. I don't care. I don't care. But for those that are newer, those comments can really stick, you know? And I just remind people, like, it has nothing to do with you. So if someone is so miserable that they are watching a crafting video, crafting with paper and dyes and inks, and they hate whatever's going on in their own lives so much that they're sitting there and like, like, I hate the colors here, or whatever dumb crap they're going to say, delete it, block them, move on. It has nothing to do with you at all. Like, I cannot imagine being that unhappy. And most of the time, someone is very deeply unhappy and unsettled, and it sucks. And I feel bad for them, honestly. So that's my TED talk for the day. Yes, threats. I have received literal threats recently, even many of them. Because again, I express my opinion. People don't like that. Is what it is. Okay. One person said I smile too much on my videos, another said I talk too much. Exactly. Exactly. Especially the lowest form. The lowest form of insult is to insult a person's like appearance and their like mannerisms, or like the way they talk, things that they cannot technically, things that they can't change. That is the lowest form of insult. Like, if you want to be insulting, get creative with it, you know? Like, again, tell me that I'm the downfall of society. I think that's funny. You know, be creative with it. At least make me laugh, because then I'll be like, ha ha ha, before I block you. I don't care. I don't care. But I've also been doing this for a very, very long time. Kathy Zielski once mentioned that someone was annoyed about her boobs. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. People find some of the most ridiculous things. But I've been doing this for a very long time. I have a very thick skin, and I get very fired up about this type of stuff because I have people that have contacted me over the years so many times, and that have sent me screenshots and like, have been genuinely upset. Like, there have been people in this space, specifically card making, that have been driven off the platform because the haters were so insane, and it just was never ending, and it was just negativity and people calling, like, just, and yeah, who wants to show up and provide free content if you're just getting dragged through the mud? So I will always like do my TED talk and be like, we're all adults here, let's act like it. Because seriously, I had a conversation with the unpaid intern just like 2 days ago about this. I was like, can you imagine if either of us, I was like, put it in the scenario, could you imagine if you found out your partner was acting like not just a troll online, but like nasty? Like, you found all their online activity and they were calling names and belittling people and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, for me, that's a deal breaker. That is the end of a relationship, because it's like, you are not a good person. I don't want to be with you anymore. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, back to what we're doing. My little adhesive lifter tool. That is what it's called. I couldn't remember it for the life of me when I did. It was an edited video, and I was like, I don't know what the tool is called. It's linked. But yeah, it's got little teeth on it. Show up. Oh, the Washi Louise. So anyway, first this. Yeah, there's a little adhesive lifter tool. And yeah, it's got little teeth. And especially if you struggle with getting the release paper on foam tapes, back in the day, Simon's Big Mama foam tape, the release paper was a nightmare to remove. I showed all sorts of tricks. I used to use like my scissors and you just work it up. That also works, but I would work it to lift up the release paper. But they reformulated it or whatever they did several years ago now, and I've never had an issue. But some foam tapes are nightmares with the release paper. Like you'll be like, 4 hours later, you finally get it's annoying. So this little dude is good. And it's also nice for those that have like dexterity issues, arthritis, etc., and it's like it hurts. This little tool. It's linked next to the foam tape. It's just Simon's adhesive lifter tool. And you can use it as a bone folder too. I don't because I love my bone folder. And yes, Rochelle, that one, I should get that tattooed as well. Probably stick it right under this one. If you can't find something nice to say, find something kind to say. It's not because I don't like that phrase anymore that, we all kind of grew up with. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. It's like, no, do like Tim says and find something kind to say. It's not that hard. How about be a bright spot in someone's day instead of being a donkey? We don't need any more of those. Anywho, now I need to go back to, the washi tape. This stuff is old as the hills and surprisingly still works. This is Doodlebug. Doodlebug washi tape. It used to come in I have a ton of them and they were these narrow ones and they came in like all the Doodlebug colors. I've had these for many years. The thing to remember with washi tape, this is another one of those products. Do not collect them unless you plan on never using them. Don't hoard them. Don't collect them. Washi tape, the adhesive on it does dry out over time. And you'll know because you'll go to like peel it off and it'll just shred and you will not be able to get a decent piece of washi tape. The adhesive is dried out. It's done for. So for whatever reason, these ones of mine have lasted and haven't dried out. I don't know why. And I just use them for things like this. Just taping down wafer dies, taping stuff in place, whatever. But like any washi tape will work. I just happen to have a massive pack and I've been working my way through it over the last however many years. No idea how long. So, anywho. And yes, the red tape, that one. Red line tape. It's not usually an issue, but this works for that too. Red line tape and score tape. Another little trick, and I forget who told me this. I forget where I got this idea, but red line tape, if you're familiar with it, I have a roll of it. Here we go. Let me grab it. This is red line tape, and it's got this stuff is super strong. Super strong. In fact, this one's like fused to the packaging, basically. I just keep in the packaging. Anyway, this adhesive is insanely strong. Like you want to do good, like shakers, adhering acetate. You want something to stay red line always. But the thing with red line adhesive is the backing, the red backing, because it's like a plasticky material. It's once you peel it off is what's annoying. Getting it off isn't too hard. This will work great. But it's the backing trick though that someone showed me because it's like it'll like static cling to your fingers. It's annoying. Take just a piece of paper towel, lay it out when you're using this. There's something about paper towel, I don't know why, and I've done this. I've shown it in videos. It's been a long time because I don't use this very often. But when you peel off the backing, lay it on the paper towel, and the paper towel just clings to it. It works. Try it. Trust me. If you use red line a lot, try the paper towel trick. It's amazing. And then I can just like, and I save the paper towel piece, but it works. It works. It's awesome. But yeah, this little doohickey works great on foam tape backing, red line backing, any of that kind of stuff. So, anywho, back to what I was doing. Doop. Okay, I think we're good. Tim holds these here. Oh yeah, the red line is good because it's like kind of heat resistant as well. Red line tape is good. I keep my stash of it. I don't use it that often, but when I need it, it comes in clutch, and it is great. It's great. I love it. Okay, back to the card. And now that I've had like multiple TED Talks about random things, just is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna line him up. Make sure we got clearance, and commit. So got that, just like so. And then I was gonna do I want these guys or do I want the littler ones? Which ones do I want? I can do a few of these. Why not? Okay. I got the my brain's I was looking at the comments and I was like, I know, you guys are welcome. But again, that's not my idea for that hack with the paper towel and the red line. I wish I could take credit. I wish I was that smart, but it was someone else and I don't because it was years ago and I don't remember, but they told me that because I used to like complain a lot. I was like, with the red line. And they were like, use a piece of paper towel. And I tried it. Game changer. Love it. But not my idea. Anyway, bright butterflies. We're going to use that and some vellum. Simon's Ice Vellum, which I've used in a bunch of videos. Love it. Here we go. And then I'm going to die cut this. I was like, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to die cut it. That's what I'm going to do. Hoi. Today is just another day. Another day. Yep. Just another day. Red line tapes with these inside phones. Oh, I believe it. It is very strong adhesive. It's good stuff. Okay. We're going to die cut these little butterflies. I did a rainbow themed card with these earlier this week. So check out my channel if you missed it because it was really fun. And that one I used reinkers as well. Specifically the Pawsitively saturated reinkers. And I did a rainbow using only 3 colors. Hello. It was fun. So, yeah. There we go. Die cut my little butterflies. And they're just, the detail. The detail. That's what I love, is piercing detail. Let me get the other ones. Get out of there. There they are. So, it pierces all that detail in them. How fun is that? You know? How fun is that? Is it truly alive with Amy unless there's a random TED Talk though? Not usually, I guess, you know. I've always got, I've said this many times, I've always got something I can rant about. You know, just get me started and I'll start ranting. Whether it's on live or just in real life. Ask the unpaid intern. He has to put up with my rants all the time. So many rants. Usually multiple times a day. And I'm like screaming over like stupid crap. And then it usually ends with, I make cards on the internet.
That's why I say off the internet.
Yeah. Things are so chaotic. Okay. Let's add just a few. Yeah, no, just 3. I'll save these guys. I'll put them in the packaging. I'll save them. No, I'll put one on the inside. Ooh, yes. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm getting excited. I'm like, ooh, shimmery butterflies. So I just used a little dot of glue right in the center. And this is my only caveat because I talk about this when it comes to vellum. Adhesive shows through vellum. Always. It just does. It's the nature of vellum. Adhesive shows through it. However, with little things like this, little butterflies, things like that, I am fine if the glue happens to show through. But usually I only add like the little dot, right at the center. If it was like very unsightly, like it just looked like with specialty vellums, it's a little more masked. But sometimes, say if the background was maybe darker. Anyway, if the glue was showing through and it was like, then I would put like a little gem, a little embellishment to cover it up, and we're good. We're good. Nobody needs to know. It's fine. It's fine. But this is my little caveat because usually I'm like, cover that up because, it just, or hide it. You got to conceal it somehow because, yeah, vellum and adhesives are just a tricky little thing. Not sure about that one. Hope you're feeling okay, Amy, with all the extra recent stress. Ha! My life is chaos and stressful. May was a rotten month. It really was. Um, am I feeling better? Sort of, not really. Honestly, it's just one thing after another.
Yeah.
But that's also why I rant. Get it all out so that I don't spontaneously combust and end up in prison. You know? So anyway, little
Your
dot.
arm length criminal record that you got going.
Oh yeah, such a criminal record. I am so like, yeah,
I go for the bad girls.
yeah, so bad. Oh my god. Uh, like I say to certain people in my circle of life, I may not have a criminal record, but the night is young. My life is still, I'm still young. There's still time for me to end up with one. So don't push it. Anyway. Okay. We added the little butterflies. And then okay. And then so we got those. And then let's add, because we got extras, so we could add one. Let's do that one. Yeah, let's add that one to the inside. And then those two I'll just put in the packaging. Save them for a future project, because you can never go wrong with shimmery little vellum butterflies. So we'll tuck that guy in right there. And then hold him in place long enough so that the glue can adhere. And then, yeah, I just tuck the extras with like little butterfly die sets. I just keep them in the packaging because I end up using them. Chris is such a delightful partner and support for you. He is. The card I made the other day, I made for him. I didn't say that in the video, but the toucan card, I made that for him because
it's sitting up in my office on the windowsill.
That's how that's how I show my affection. It's either that or throwing, I buy product. Like giving gifts is my love language. So it's like, here, wah, Yeah, or grabbing his butt. That too. Like, you're just asking for it.
I got such a grabbable butt.
Yeah. He does. Okay, back to what? Where was I? Having a t-shirt that says crafting because murder is wrong. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And for a lot of us, crafting is therapy. Like, it's got its place. Okay, I want to add one last bit of bling to finish off my card here. These are just the pastel positively saturated gems. Because the yellow ones, the peachy ones, and the green ones work with this card. So I thought I could tuck in just a few. So the yellow one, let's do, need a medium-sized peachy one. And while I'm doing this, the unpaid intern can pick a winner.
I'll just drop the link in the chat one more time here.
There we go. Okay, let me get where you belong. There we go. Yeah, we'll just add just a smidge. Just a couple of them. Let's do that one. Put one there. And then I need another little one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then all I need to do. Well, Emma, you can watch the replay.
Yeah.
You can watch the replay because it ain't going anywhere. All right. little dabs of craft tacky glue. Ooh. And of course that one decided to be a bum. There you go. I just pick them up with my little embellishment wand. And just tuck those in just like so. And we'll stick one right there. Right there. Yes. Yes. I like how that. I'll show it close up in a sec. Let me put these away before I flip this container over, because that's usually a given as well. There we go. Oop, oop. There we go. Okay. So got that. And then let me move all of the things out of the way. I need a bigger boat. Tighten that. There we go. There is our finished card. So we've got some gold and a very soft background. You can see those are the spots where I had splattered the watered down white gouache, and just how it just created a very soft sort of effect. But then we've got the gold from the Gansai Tambi on these die cuts. I love how that just worked. It just worked. So yeah. And then of course, the inside. Gotta have something on the inside. It's just the rule. But yeah. There is our finished card. And now I'll make sure again that I press the right button and not accidentally in this. There we go. I did it without breaking anything. Because you never know sometimes. It just can happen. So, while the unpaid intern is scrolling through my the blacklist, because that's another reason, going back to the whole like trolling and negative comments, I cannot add up the amount of times over the years. Cannot add it up. People that have become completely unhinged and said rank, horrible, nasty things to me. And again, like I said, I've been accused of some just insane stuff over the years. I cannot count the amount of times that those very same people with their very same accounts then enter the next giveaway and they're all like, I love you so much. Oh. I'm like, are you serious? Like, really? Really? I even had one person once come back, like try to take it back and like apologize over their accusations. And trust me, it was bad. Like it was a saga of insanity. And they accused me. They were completely unhinged. This was many years ago. And they were the one that actually started the blacklist. Cause I was just like, it was an experience that I will never forget. And I have the screenshots. Anyway, I started a blacklist. I was like, you threaten, say hateful things, etc., we add you to a list. And he checks it when he picks winners, because they come back out and then want to win things. And I'm like, no, no, that's not how this works. Stop it. Ah. Anyway, we have a winner.
Yep, it's
the audacity, truth.
Susie from Toronto, Ontario.
Susie in Toronto.
Yep.
As usual, I make no promises of when I'm going to mail this out. Because yeah, it's PTSD. Yeah, I do have PTSD with some of the stuff. Again, I make cards on the internet, y'all. It's been an interesting journey over the last 20 years. I make no promises of when I'm mailing this. I still have to mail out last week's winner. Possibly we'll do that this week. Technically, Canada Post is sort of on strike, but not really. They are work to rule, which just means that Canada Post employees are only working their designated shifts. They're not doing any overtime as they're negotiating and all the things. And we're just hoping that this can be resolved in the workers' favor. Because, again, as a reminder, we are a union family. The unpaid intern, he's a union member.
Yep.
You know, and that's a good thing, because if he was actually working for me, he wouldn't be unionized. Because I would bust to that attempt whatsoever. I can't afford him. Anyway, But yeah, we're a union family, you know, support the workers, people. Seriously, I do not understand the weird obsession with, like, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're not going there. That is a rant I can save for another day, because just corporations don't need that, in my opinion. But yeah, just wow, they came back. Yes. Yep. People think they can leave, and the best ones though, in fact, and I'm not going to name. I'm not going to name, but I had a very nasty, unhinged couple of comments, like nasty. And what made me laugh is when it popped up and I saw it and I was just like, oh wow, is the person who did it under their business account? And I'm not going to name names right now. They're not a business I've ever promoted. But it was a crafting business. And none of y'all would probably even know who it was anyway. But again, I'm not going to name it. But yeah, they posted it under their business account. And I'm not even joking. I sat back and laughed. And I replied to them and I was like, oh, you're a business. And I said in my reply that I was like, screenshots have been taken. And then, did they immediately, like, they tried to backtrack. But instead of actually apologizing, because I think they stand by their hateful disgustingness, is they sent someone else, or they set up another account. I had someone accused, and then they were accusing me of trying to ruin said business. And I was like, I haven't said anything. I just said I took screenshots because I'm not stupid. Like, yeah. So if that person happens to be watching,
hello.
Yeah. Hi. I still have those screenshots. You're not cool, man. At all. And try me. Literally try me. Because I won't put up with that kind of crap. But when it comes against me, I'm just like, but you know, you try that with anyone else, I probably will release those screenshots and let nature and karma take its course. So that's that rant. Yeah. Bye to the disembodied hand.
Yep.
Thank you for helping.
Always here for this.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, Emma. Yep, we love unions here. I don't understand some people, the way they behave is just no. Oh, I know. I know. Then he wouldn't get his M&Ms. Yeah, no. He's working for you, man. Yeah, especially they're expensive now, man.
They are expensive.
Like craziness. Just craziness. But yes, he is the unpaid intern because he just volunteers his time, and then yeah, I get him snacks. Speaking of which, we need to go get some stuff so I can make cupcakes.
Yeah,
I was still gonna do that. Maybe I'll do that today because the weather is just
awful.
Oh. So yeah, I can't even. Oh, I know. It's just I pick and choose my battles for the most part. Sometimes, if people catch me on a really bad day, you know, I will not only screenshot, but I will post them publicly. You know, it just depends. I pick and choose on whether or not it's worth my time to do that. And there's certain lines that when those are crossed, I will publicize it. Don't care. And I won't black out names or anything else, because it's like, if you want to do this kind of stuff on the internet with your full name and profile picture and all the things, you might as well be saying it to my face in real life. So I will expose it. I don't care. Is what it is. Still working for peanuts. Yep. That's what he gets. He just gets snacks. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. This was fun. And yeah. Okay, I don't think I missed anything. So yeah, I appreciate all y'all. Even the one that already thumbs down. That too. I find that funny. I have a few little stalkers that just every single video pretty much that I post, they go and thumbs down it. Okay. Great. Thanks for the engagement. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. that's another thing with people that are newer, and if you're, you know, creating content, specifically with YouTube, because with other platforms there isn't like a thumbs down button, but specifically with YouTube, do not let it get to you. Sometimes it's a mistake. Like sometimes it's an accident. People accidentally hit the thumbs down. It happens. Don't let it get to you. And other times, okay, whatever. You know, whatever. It doesn't faze me. It doesn't faze me. Um, Now I imagine him standing somewhere with a sign saying, "Will intern for snacks." I know. If I if I get him mad enough, maybe if we have like a big argument or something, he'll be outside with a sign like, "Will intern for snacks." I could totally see him doing it. Uh do do do. Oh, I appreciate y'all. Um, a case when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Yep. Yep. Is what it is. Doodly doo. Okay, I was watching Carissa Wiley one day. She makes beautiful cards. Beautiful cards. Carissa Wiley, I like her stuff a lot. She'd barely started. Someone gave her a thumbs down. Oh yeah, like there are people literally. And some of them I know they're trolling, and it just makes me laugh. Is my video when I post it, like an edited video, it hasn't even been up for more than like 10 minutes, and there's like thumbs down, and I'm like, you literally haven't even watched it. It's not physically possible because it's like a 20-minute video. And I was like, cool. Don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. Um, yeah. So I appreciate y'all very, very much. Do. I've accidentally hit the thumbs down. Makes me feel so bad. You can unclick it. If you realize you hit it by accident, because again, it happens, especially if you're watching on mobile or just, you know, technology. I swear. With YouTube, because again, I can't speak to other things, but with YouTube, if you click thumbs down, you can click it again and it erases it. And then you can click thumbs up. So do not feel bad. It happens. I'm just saying that for those that are newer, because I've had a lot of conversations with people. They're like, you know, and just how hard it is, and like how much it can get to them with like negativity, thumbs downing, etc. And I know while I say I'm just like, whatever, don't care, doesn't faze me at all. I know how that feels. Like, especially in the very beginning. I don't remember the wording because it's been over 20 years, but I remember the first time I had to deal with like negativity, and it's like, I'm just sharing my little cards on my blog, you know, that sort of a thing before YouTube was even a thing. And, you know, my first troll. And in fact, yeah, no, I do remember my first troll. They got personal and they were attacking me as a mother. That was fun. Um, They gave themselves away with that one though, because I was able to figure out it was someone I knew in real life, and I found it hilarious because I was like, they were so insecure and unhappy and downright miserable that they felt the need to troll me anonymously, and they gave themselves away. So I found it funny. But anyway, I say these things that to just try and encourage those that want to be content creators, like share their makes, you know, share their art, share their ideas online. Just don't let the haters get you down, you know? Just don't. So, um doodly doo. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Doo-doo-doo. They can thumbs down your video, but I would just send them a metaphorical middle finger. I've received that too. I had one little random troll not that long ago either, but those were like full on trolls where all their comments were just emojis, and it was a bunch of like puking emojis and middle fingers. And I'm like, really? Again, if you want to be insulting, get creative about it. Those ones I'm just like, delete, block. It's not even worth my time. That is another laziest form of trolling, is just a bunch of like emojis, you know? I was like, okay. So, anywho, things happen, but thankfully today went good. Today went good, and the unpaid intern is long gone because snacks ran out. He's done. And yeah, our finished card, like always, I'll do the photos and the social medias and all that stuff. And then stay tuned. I mentioned this in yesterday's bonus live, and for those that missed it, it's on the channel under the live tab. Yeah, because when you're on a person's YouTube channel, it's like the channel, and then there's tabs. There's like videos, lives, popular, posts, etc. So if you click on the lives, it has all of them, listed. I went live yesterday and did a bonus little live, and I didn't even know there was a middle finger emoji. That's one of my most used emojis. I use it all the time. All the time. I don't use it to troll people. I use it in real life with people. I'm just like middle fingers to everything all the time. All the time. One of my favorite emojis. Anyway, doodly doo. Yeah, so I posted a live yesterday. I posted many videos last week. I did a lot, and I have many more coming, getting back into it after just a very chaotic, rough last month. Hoping this month won't be near as chaotic. It'll probably still have its own form of chaos, but yeah, there'll be videos coming. There's a few releases coming very soon that are so good. So yeah, tons of content, all the fun things. And that is it from me for now. I am going to go probably lay down for a bit because, like I said, this headache has just been simmering all day. But I hope you guys have the great rest of your day, and I will see you all in future videos, and we'll just see if I'm able to squeeze in any more bonus lives. It's just going to depend. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!